Good morning, and we'd like to welcome you to the Marshall County Board of Supervisors as we are meeting in regular session on this Tuesday, October 20th at 9:15, or 2015 at 9 a.m. in the courthouse, meeting room number 2, northeast corner, 3rd floor, with all 3 members present. If you please join me now and rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Just a notice to the public, the Board of Supervisors welcomes comments from the public during the time allowed for discussion. You are requested to approach the microphone, state your name for the record, and limit the time used to present your remarks in order that others may be given the opportunity to speak. The normal process on any agenda item is for the chairperson to read the item from the agenda. The board is given an opportunity to comment on the issue and or place a motion on the floor. An opportunity for discussion may be presented, at which time the public may participate, and a roll call vote will follow. First item on our agenda is the approval or amendment of the agenda that has been printed and presented.
Mr. Chairman, I would move that we approve the agenda as printed.
Mr. Chairman, I'll second that.
And a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Thompson.
Yes.
Patton.
Yes.
Gravenbauer.
Yes. This item number 2 is one of the kind of the neat things that we get the opportunity to do every month, and that's to show some honor and recognition to our employees that have been here over the 5-year period. And we're lucky this month to have 6 employees that have been employees of Marshall County between 5 and 15 years, and we've got 2 of them that are here, so I'll save the best to last, so to speak. But we'd like to honor our Roderick Oakes, Secondary Road Department, who's been with us for 15 years. John Evans, also from the Secondary Road Department, also 15 years. Marilee Weatherman, out of the Assessor's Office, has been here 10 years, and Jordan Gaffney, County Attorney Office, for 5 years. We thank those people for their continued support and working with Marshall County. Now the 2 that are here, I guess you always save the best for last. First one we'd like to honor is Mark Bethel. And Mark has been in the medical examiner's office for the past 15 years. And we get Mark up here for the presentation. And it's always a pleasure, as I told your dad, to meet you guys outside the budget time of the year. But 15 years, and with this kind of ironic, because we honored your dad earlier this year with his service for the county. And now we come back with you for 15 years. We thank you for all you've done, all your work, and we've had discussions in and out of the office, and we appreciate everything that you've done for us. And congratulations on 15 years with your dad with Canada. So, did you give my good side?
Yeah.
Turn around.
Thank you. Yes, you bet.
The next guy, I tell you what, normally when we see him, something ain't working. And I get the pleasure to serve with him on our 911 board as a representative from Laurel. And 15 years of service. Evan, Paul, come on up here. And it's ironic that you're up here and the phones aren't ringing. The whole IT department is up here right now. So please, anybody in the courthouse, don't call us now. We'll get back to you later. But for your continued service, 15 years, it's been some challenging times, but you went through it remarkably and admirably, and we thank you for everything, and thank you for 15 years with us.
Thank you.
We really appreciate your hard work and determination. So,
It's been a pleasure working with both of you guys. It's
and Mark, I apologize for Thompson not buying you dinner. Where did that come from? Are you buying some of these guys dinner when they?
well, you always want to be on the good side of the medical examiner.
Oh yeah, that's true. Moving on now to our consent agenda, the approval of the minutes from regular session of October 6, 2015. Next item, the approval of the transfer of funds, transfer number 869, a quarterly transfer of $482,500 from Rural Services Fund to Secondary Road Fund. Number 5 is accept recorder's quarterly report from 9/15. It includes a records management fund of $1,547, the e-commerce fund of $1,547, and the general basic fund of $51,672.49. Item number 6, file clerk of district court report from 9/15. General supplemental 10% surcharge for a total of $815.20. And item 7, approve the claims as audited and authorize the county auditor and recorder to issue payment of same. The listing of claims paid at this meeting will be included with all claims paid for the month of October. The October list of claims will be a part of the first meeting in November. I'd entertain a motion on our consent agenda.
Mr. Chairman, I motion that we approve the consent agenda as printed above.
And Mr. Chairman, I would second that.
We got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Thompson.
Yes.
Patton.
Yes.
Ravenbauer.
Yes. Item number 8, this is approve a personnel hire. Richard Legg, Secondary Road Department, Patrolman 1, full-time and $23.35 per hour, effective November 4th, 2015. And Paul, if you'd like to comment, that's just a replacement.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Yeah, this is a replacement for John Evans, who recently retired, and he'll be running out of the Minerva shed up there in northwest part of the county.
All right. All right, we got a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
We haven't had a motion.
No.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm looking at the wrong.
Mr. Chairman, I motion that we approve this personnel action.
We got a motion
Mr. Chairman, I would second that.
and a second. Now, any further discussion?
None other than this guy comes to us with some pretty good experience and background. We're going to miss John Evans. He was with us for 15 years.
And we did, an internal posting so that the members of the group can bid on it, and no one did bid on that position. So we did have to advertise outside for a blade operator, which is the first time I've had to do that. But it's going to work well, I think.
Yeah, it kind of surprised me nobody wanted to move into that.
A lot of it has to do with who lives
Where
up
it
in that
is,
part
yeah.
of the county.
And you refer to what now? Those of us who live up in that part of the county?
It's okay.
Well, from
You've
those of you
obviously
that live
overcome.
in that part of the county might be why we had trouble filling the position.
I see, okay.
We really didn't have trouble filling it.
You notice I'm keeping quiet.
I noticed that.
We got a motion and a second, followed by discussion. Roll call, please.
Thompson.
Yes.
Patton.
Yes.
Ravenbauer.
Yes. Thanks, Paul.
You probably know that Ballard Way is the road that takes me the longest to get to anywhere in the county, up in that corner. But
We do now.
Yes.
All right, moving on to item number 9, resolution abatement of mobile home taxes, a resolution number 2015-0045. And he's already up behind the mic. Our treasurer, Jerry Hart.
Morning, guys.
Good morning.
Morning.
Well, we got a few mobile homes that we're cleaning up here, and from 2 different mobile home parks, Timberwolf Valley, we got 4 of them, and then the Melbourne Mobile Home Park. And mobile homes are always kind of they always kind of fall on the back burner, and they're not, they're not the big dollar getter when you're talking taxes. So what you find is there's not a lot of, you don't get the teeth sinking into these mobile home park owners in the law for them to transfer mobile homes. What happens is, what we've seen in several of these, mobile home owner leaves, sells it to the park owner doesn't actually transfer it into their name, so we're still sending tax bills to the previous owner because we have it in our books that it's still in their name. And if they've moved and left, they're not receiving it. They don't know that it's still in their name. And so that's what happened with the majority of these. Actually in Melbourne, 6 of them that they're actually cleaning up and moving all of these out because they've become, the city actually went in and deemed them inhabitable. And I think there's 3 others that they are actually fixing to be habitable there. So they're cleaning up the problem there in Melbourne, and these 6 are getting completely moved out. 4 of them are gone. 2 of them are going to be out this week. So that's those 6 from Melbourne, and the others in Timber Valley have been, 2 of them have been moved out, and the other one is being junked and moved out. So our Treasurers Association, we're kind of trying to take the bull by the horns on this to try to change some laws to prevent this from happening, because what happens is this, our books aren't matching what's really going on out there, and that's what happens when park owners aren't necessarily doing what they're supposed to be doing. So, and we can't just go out there patrolling them and making sure they're doing everything. We don't have the resources to be following up on $75 a mobile home tax when it's current. What you're seeing here in this dollars amounts is a lot of penalty that's racked up over time. So,
And the longer you keep it on the books, the more penalties occur, and you're going to have to write it off anyway.
that's eventually what ends up happening, because it's uncollectible tax. Who's going to pay tax on junk?
Right.
And are the penalties all from the county, or are they from the other
The penalties
municipalities
is
also?
the county.
Okay.
And after they clean, I guess the ideal situation, after they clean the ground, or clean the property off the grounds, then they can resell that for either housing or something else, and we get it back on the tax roll.
Well, for instance, in Melbourne, these 6 that are getting moved out, they can move 6 new ones in and get those on the tax rolls that are more habitable living mobile homes that people want to live in and pay the taxes on.
And it is for a total of $6,971 that
Correct.
this resolution includes. So I would entertain a motion on this.
Mr. Chairman, I would move to adopt resolution number 2015-0045, mobile home taxes.
Mr. Chairman, I'll second that.
All right, we got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Thompson.
Yes.
Patton.
Yes.
Gravenbauer.
Yes. All right, thanks, Sheriff. All right, moving on to item number 10, Central Iowa Community Services. Discussion and possible action to approve the Central Iowa Community Service Employee Status of Understanding between Marshall County, Iowa, and the Central Iowa Community Services Governing Board. The statement identifies the individual employee, the position filed, and the portion of the employee's wages and benefits that will be the responsibility of the region. I think we've got Jill Eaton in the crowd, so Jill, if you'd like to come up and kind of give us an insight on this.
Good morning.
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 Mr. Patton sits on the governing board, so he can chime in too. As you receive the statement of understandings, and this is just kind of another step in the process of our mental health services going to the region, the Central Iowa Community Services region, and the Fund $10 that Marshall County levies are technically regional dollars. Now we kind of send those fund balances to our fiscal agent, but we do still have staff that's paid locally and actually does some other jobs within our community services office. So this is putting in place the statement of understanding, the portion of our salaries that comes out of those Fund 10 regional dollars. So it is not a change, it's just getting the baseline for what all people in all 10 counties are being paid out of the region. Some are 50% duties with the MHDS region, some are 75, some, so it's just getting the baseline and the statement of understanding for the board, the governing board to sign that. So if there was a change, that would go back to the governing board.
And we split these dollars up before we were in the region though too, didn't we?
Yes, yes. The percentage that we're paying out of Fund 10 versus our other funds is the same that we were doing
Okay, so
before the
this
region.
just, the other dollars are now coming from the region, but the split is the same as what we were before?
Correct, yes.
Okay.
It's just more defining it, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just, like I said,
Right.
almost creating the baseline, really.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
So, any
All right.
questions?
Any other questions for
No.
Jill? I'd entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I motion that we approve the Central Iowa Community Services Employment Statement of Understanding for Marshall County Community Service employees.
Mr. Chairman, I'd second that motion.
All right, we've got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Thompson.
Yes.
Patton.
Yes.
Gravenbauer.
Yes. All right, thank you. All right, moving on now to public forum. This is time set aside for the public to make comments on topics of county business other than those listed on this agenda. No action will be taken on any of these topics brought up in the public forum. And Mr. Smith, you requested the public forum, so this is your time.
Good morning. After everything's going so smoothly, I hate to be the man that's complaining, but I have used the phone constantly for the past, 3-4 years. Oaks Avenue is a farm-to-market road. And I was pleased when they put up signs closing the road before the farm crops came in. Well, it started the construction south of the creek, Timber Creek, was started, and it took forever, and I was watching for them to get that completed. But now I'm hearing from people that are hauling corn to Haverhill that it's such a mess out there that one young farmer told me he couldn't pull his wagon across it because it was too dangerous. So he hauled it to over on 30. But, and he's north of Marshall, north of 30. But when they came out of south of the creek, Timber Creek, I noticed from my farm, from at the top of the hill, that the machinery was lined up, going north, and it was flagged to be processed or worked. But all of a sudden, it was gone. So then, nothing happened. The road was closed for, I don't know, 2 months, 2 weeks. And then it was taken up. Now I hear that south of the creek is such a mess that farmers are having a problem pulling crops over that. And it is a farm to market road. Oaks Avenue is a farm to market road. But my tenant, who has the latest in equipment, would be with me today if he wasn't picking corn. But we still have the problem north of the creek. And since I've been at this address since 1960, no work has been done on the east side of the Oaks Avenue, that hill. The water comes down the road, 4 streams when it's raining, right down the middle of the road, until it gets to a spot on the left side of the road that is eroding into the road. If a car hits it, too bad. It's flagged, but you don't see it for the weed. Anyway, I hate to be a complainer, but I fought to keep this farm. When I got out of the service and was farming through the 30s or 50s, I was the next one on the chopping block to be eliminated. But for some unknown reason, I continued. Anyway, I'm wondering now that they've opened the road, the crops are in practically, now we can have a road, but we're still not working on that road. All of the road, the water comes down the road, past my house, north of my house, down through the hill, off to the right side. There's never been, since I've lived here, any work on east of the road. It's never been worked. But we've got such a deep, 10-foot deep ditch on the west side that it's caused a lot of erosion, and it plugged up the water to the culvert going into my field. So consequently, since there's no ditch on the east side, that water comes across the road into my field, eroding the driveway, and then, of course, it goes into my field. The culvert is plugged. There's no place for the water to go except into my field, and so it makes it impossible to farm. We cancel that part of the farm for work. I don't know why it is that for all these years that there's never been anything done on the east side of the road. Ever since I've been there, and since 1960, nothing has been done. Now, in North Marshall County, my son lives in North, they know how to farm. they know how to grade a road. They don't have curbs of 4 inches high to keep the water in the road. We have curbs on all sides of our, and I don't know why you can't pull that in once in a while and let the water into the ditch, but that's the way it's been. My son's farm, the road is excellent, graded right. Somebody in Marshall County knows how to do it, but for some reason, Oaks Avenue doesn't have him. I don't know what else to say. I've got backing from a tenant and another young farmer that the road south of the creek is a mess. It'll cause some accidents but it's there now. And I don't know when we, north of the creek, get something that satisfies people.
Okay, well,
so-
we do know the Oaks is a problem. There's a lot of issues out there. We thank you for coming up.
Well, we pay taxes,
and
whether we
explaining
pay.
that. Yep, and I realize that.
And I know there's other places, but to do it right at harvest time is
Right.
no brains.
All right, thank you, Mr. Schmidt. All right, anybody else for open public forum? See nobody jump up to the microphone. At this time, our next regular session is scheduled for November 3rd, 2015 at 9 a.m. All business to be acted upon at that session should be submitted to the County Auditor and Recorder's Office or the Board of Supervisors' Office by Thursday, October 29th, 2015 at 1 p.m. There being no further business to come before the board, we stand adjourned at 9:22. Thank you.